Ok, rap futuristico. Rap futuristico. Rap futuristico.
But I was quite pleased with the start that Italy made to the tournament. After the build-up to the tournament, it was time to get nervous, I think. But having seen them against Spain, having seen them in the first half against Croatia, there were reasons to be positive. But then the second half against Croatia, doubts start creeping in, and then against Ireland, I don't know, there were bits that worked and bits that didn't, and we really started the game against Ireland quite poorly. But overall, I think we're good, and I think the team were focused on getting out of the group. Now they're out of the group, I do think that the players feel a certain release that this is the real part of the tournament and they're ready to go for it, so that's quite good. They seem to have a lot of confidence about them. So, you know, I think Prandelli gave the group a 7. I might go for a 6.5 at the moment, but hopefully to increase as the games go on. My player of the tournament for Italy so far would have to be, well, it's a tough one. I would pick 3 players that have stood out. The obvious one is Pirlo, who, you know, has had a role in everything good that we do, obviously, but he maybe had one of his off games against Ireland, but I'm hoping that's that out of the way, and that against England again he can be very influential. De Rossi has been great both in defence and even in midfield. The other night I thought that he gives it 100% all the time, and you can, you know, if we do have to play him in the back in the defence, then he really does make a difference there as well. But perhaps the revelation for me, and Juve fans will probably get on my back for this because they'll say that I should know this already, but Marchisio has really impressed me. You know, I've watched Juve on and off this season, but I didn't really appreciate just quite what a player Marchisio's become, and he really is box to box. He gets in about it, he can attack, he can defend. I've been really impressed by Marchisio, so I'd probably pick him at the moment. Well, I think Italy have been better and more convincing when they went to this 3-5-2 for the first 2 games, but I think they'll set up with the formation that they had in the game against Ireland, a 4-3-1-2, I think is what it was, or 4-1-3-2, or however it's set out. But I think that's the way he's going to go. I think Chiellini's a big loss at the back, and I'm not convinced by Bonucci and Barzagli as a 2 in a back 4. But I do think Balzaretti had a great game against Ireland, and Abate's pace could become very important against England as well. And we do create a lot of chances with that formation, but we've got to start putting these chances away. One thing that's worried me in the tournament so far is that we get to about an hour in and then suddenly we drop off, and that's when the other team starts to dominate us. And I think we need to, you know, against England, we need to be a goal or ideally 2 goals up by that stage, so that we can weather the storm, because there will be a period where they come at us. There's no doubt about that, and they do have, you know, they do have players to hurt Italy if we allow them to. The England player that I'm most worried about, probably Wayne Rooney. It's a predictable answer, but Wayne Rooney is their world-class player for me. He's the one that can do the damage. If he has one of his good games, then he can score against anyone. Whether they'll get the ball to him that much, I suspect England will set up in the same way that they set up against France, which is a very defensive but solid. You know, the 2 banks of 4, and then try and nick something on the break or on a set piece or something like that. And I see they've been practicing their penalties as well. I think they're quite focused on trying to get us to penalties as well. So yeah, Rooney. Gerrard has had a good tournament as well, so he can be a danger from midfield as well. But again, we can maybe I'm hoping that we can maybe overrun him a bit in midfield with De Rossi and Marchisio running about there, hassling him. I suspect they'll try and get Parker to do the same against Pirlo. But overall, I would say those are the 2 England players that we have to watch out for. This is the draw that no Scottish Italian wanted, I have to say, because England are simply because you live in Scotland, it's the biggest rivals that a Scottish Italian has in football, I suspect. And for that reason, I am very nervous, simply because you read about the build-up, you hear about it in the media, you know what they say about Italy, and you know what they'll say if they beat us. So that makes me nervous, which clouds my view slightly on how the match might actually go. I mean, if you looked at England's football in this tournament, if it was Ukraine that had played like England and we were playing Ukraine on Sunday, then I would be relatively confident. England are good, they're solid, they're tough to break down, there's no doubt about that. And in Rooney, they do have a man who's a potential match winner, but they also do give away some chances, even despite all of that. And we have been creating a lot of chances, so I think we should be confident. I see Bonucci on Thursday was saying that he was quite confident. He thought that Italy were better than England, and I think probably that's true. I'm just very nervous about agreeing with a statement like that. But I think hopefully Italy will manage to scrape through somehow against England. And if they do that, as a Scottish Italian, that will make the tournament for me. I'll be very happy, and whatever happens after that is a bonus.